The reality of the Syrian civil war. The Syrian civil war, which erupted in 2011, is one of the most devastating conflicts of our time. It has not only transformed Syria into a landscape of destruction but has also had profound implications on regional and global politics. Understanding the reality of this war requires a look at its origins, the key players involved, the humanitarian crisis it has caused, and the prospects for peace and recovery. Origins of the conflict. The roots of the Syrian civil war can be traced back to the Arab Spring, a wave of protests and uprisings that swept across the Arab world in 2010 and 2011. In Syria, peaceful demonstrations began in March 2011, inspired by calls for political reform, greater freedoms, and an end to corruption. These protests were met with brutal repression by President Bashar al-Assad's regime, which used lethal force against its own citizens. The regime's violent response escalated tensions, leading to armed resistance and the formation of opposition groups. This initial phase of the conflict was marked by a significant divide. The government, supported by loyalist forces and later by foreign allies like Russia and Iran, faced off against various opposition factions, including moderates and extremist groups. This division laid the groundwork for a multidimensional conflict that would draw in numerous external actors. Key players. The Syrian civil war is characterized by a complex web of players. On one side is the Assad regime, determined to maintain its grip on power. Supported by Russia and Iran, the regime has utilized sophisticated military tactics, including airstrikes and chemical weapons, to suppress dissent and reclaim territories. Opposing the regime are a multitude of factions, ranging from moderate groups seeking democratic reforms to extremist organizations like ISIS and the al-Nusra Front. These groups have varying goals and ideologies, complicating the opposition's ability to present a united front. Kurdish forces, notably the Syrian Democratic Forces, have also played a significant role, particularly in the fight against ISIS. The Kurdish aspirations for autonomy have added another layer to the conflict, further complicating the already intricate dynamics. Humanitarian crisis. The human toll of the Syrian civil war has been staggering. Over 500,000 people have lost their lives, and millions have been displaced. The war has created one of the largest refugee crises in modern history, with millions fleeing to neighboring countries like Turkey, Lebanon, and Jordan, while others have sought refuge in Europe. Internally, civilians face dire conditions. Many live in makeshift camps or destroyed homes, struggling to access basic necessities like food, clean water, and healthcare. The war has also had devastating effects on education, with millions of children out of school. The long-term psychological and social impacts on these children and their communities are incalculable. Global implications. The Syrian civil war has significant global implications. It has strained international relations, particularly between Western nations and Russia, which supports the Assad regime. The rise of ISIS in the chaos of the war has led to international military interventions and heightened concerns about terrorism worldwide. Furthermore, the conflict has fueled sectarian tensions across the region, impacting countries like Iraq and Lebanon. The influx of refugees has also challenged the capacities of host nations, leading to social and economic strains. The path forward. As the conflict continues, the prospects for peace seem bleak. Various peace talks and ceasefires have been attempted, but they have largely failed to produce lasting solutions. The ongoing violence, coupled with deep-seated mistrust among different factions, makes reconciliation a daunting challenge. However, amid this despair, there are glimmers of hope. Local initiatives aimed at community rebuilding and dialogue have emerged, demonstrating the resilience of the Syrian people. Humanitarian organizations are tirelessly working to provide assistance and promote recovery efforts. Ultimately, a lasting solution will require comprehensive international cooperation and a commitment to addressing the root causes of the conflict. This includes supporting inclusive governance, economic reconstruction, and the establishment of accountability for war crimes. Conclusion. The reality of the Syrian civil war is a complex tapestry of suffering, resilience, and geopolitical intrigue. Understanding its intricacies is vital for anyone who wishes to grasp the current state of the Middle East and the broader implications of the conflict. As we reflect on the tragedy that has unfolded over the past decade, it is imperative that we continue to raise awareness, support humanitarian efforts, and advocate for a peaceful resolution to this enduring crisis. If you like this video, subscribe to our channel for more such channel.